Hello, and welcome back to another Cook With Me video. I'm Sil Gonzalez from the DIY Belizean Mommy, and today we're gonna make fish panades, Belizean fish panades. You guys might be very familiar with making this, and maybe not. So anyways, first we're gonna start off by making our sauce, our onion pepper sauce. I go about half and half, or not quite half and half, with onion and cabbage. And I used jalapenos for my pepper this time. I didn't use habanero or any other hotter sauce because some of our family members can't eat that much pepper. And some salt, black pepper, and vinegar. So we're gonna start off by slicing our cabbage and onion. You could use a shredder, a cabbage shredder, or a grater, just a hand grater. I prefer shredding my cabbage. I feel like the texture of the cabbage and onion when you grate it is just too fine for me. So I prefer slicing my cabbage as thin as possible and my onion, and then I cut it up into small chunks. So however you prefer your sauce to be more fine or more chunky. If you want it more chunky, you do it as shown here. If you want it more fine, then you can grate it. You could put it in a chopper or whatever and chop it up real fine. So after you're done chopping your onion and cabbage, you could go ahead and add in your vinegar, salt, and pepper. So if you like your stuff really sour, you could add however much vinegar you want. I don't like my stuff too sour, and so I went like half water, half vinegar. If you have the vinegar that is already mixed, like I buy the vinegar essence, and so you just put like a teaspoon in I don't know, half cup of water or something like that. And so yeah, after that we're gonna start cutting up onion and tomatoes. This is for our fish part of the panades. I already boiled my fish and I added salt and black pepper in it, and I deboned it already. If you could find fish fillet, then go ahead and use that, and then you will be free from all the bones and the picking out of bones and all that good stuff. But anyways, my husband goes fishing a lot, and so he gets some really nice big ones, and so it's not that hard to pick out the bones. But be very, very careful and make sure that you get all the bones out. You don't want to be chomping down on a bone. So yeah, I boil my fish, I get my onion and tomatoes, put oil in a pan, fry that up until it's brown, and then I add my fish in, and I add a little bit of coloring. If you don't have achote, you could use if you don't have, sorry, I'm getting my Achote and Recardo all mixed up. If you don't have Achote, you could use Recardo. Recardo is more popular, especially in the States. You could find that more popular than Achote. Anyways, I add that in to add a little bit of color instead of just all white fish, but that's totally optional as well. And then I add in some chicken flavoring and a little bit more salt to taste. But remember, you're gonna have salt in your masa and salt in your salsa, so you don't want to go too heavy on the salt here. You just want to have enough. And I'm just gonna make that fall in love with each other, and fry it up until it's all incorporated, and it make sure you keep tasting. If you cannot taste your food like I do, then you get your husband to taste it, or somebody else that can taste. So anyways, I do a lot of my cooking and I get somebody else to taste my food. Make sure that it's all good. I can taste a little bit, but not that much. I can, just enough to know that I'm eating something that tastes kind of good, but I can't get the like wow effect in my mouth. Anyways, so yeah, after that we're gonna work on the masa part. So here we're just gonna, I had my masa in the freezer and I defrosted, and I'm just gonna break it apart. I end up using my KitchenAid instead of my hands for personal reasons, but you could totally use your hand. And then I added chicken flavoring and a little bit of salt and achote. And once again, if you don't have the achote, you could use the Recardo. I don't use a lot of Recardo because I could find the achote very easily, and you don't have to use as much to color your food or whatever you're doing. So anyways, this is the end result. Make sure you mix it up and you can form a little ball in your hand without it falling apart. If you freeze your masa, just let it defrost and you work that in. Don't add water into it. And now if you use maseca that you could find in the States, in the Mexican stores or whatever, then you'll have to obviously add water. And you don't want to add too much water at the same time. Just add slowly until you could form solid ball. Not too solid, but solid enough that you could work with it and it doesn't break apart. So I like to prepare my stuff like this so that the process of frying is very easy. So I have my fish, I have my little ball on the side, and just have all of that ready. So when I start patting out my panades, the process of frying goes very fast because panades is best eaten when it's hot. Nice, hot, and crispy. That's the best way of eating this. I don't normally eat along with my company if I have company. And if you are making a lot like for company, then you might want to use a big pan and make sure that I usually like try to have like 5 to 10 panades ready at a time to fry. So I would have a lot of these plastics around, these little round plastic that I pat my tortillas out on. I have a lot of that sitting around, and so I just make a bunch of them and leave them on the plastic. You could also use a hand tortilla press. I don't have one, and so I just use my hands. Whichever one is easier for you to use. If you guys would want me to make a video with the maseca, then let me know down in the comments below. But I prefer making my panades from fresh masa since it's available very easily where I live. But I know a lot of my viewers are from the US, and so some of the stuff is kind of hard to make. But if you're familiar with Mexican dishes, then it should be easy. I know some of my viewers are very familiar with Mexican dishes, and so it's easy for them to, understand the whole process of the masa part of the panades. So we're just gonna make a bunch of these and set it aside and get it ready to fry. I bring my oil like maybe like half an inch in a small pan, and I wait until I see movement in my oil, and then I put my panades in. Once it floats to the top, then I flip them over and fry them until it's like brown, a little bit brown. I shouldn't say brown, just a tiny bit brown, and you're gonna feel the texture changes. It's not soft, it's more on a crispy side. And then you take them out, you put them on a napkin, let them drain, and then you could serve them hot. Make sure you put your sauce on top, and it's just so good. Anyways, so yeah, that's the process of making panades. If you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments below, and I'll be willing to answer them as much as I can. I'll be leaving a recipe also down in the description box below. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. It really helps to boost my channel out to other people that might be interested in what I'm doing. Thank you guys so much for your time. Have a nice day. Bye.